I'm an old man now. I've lived long enough to learn something that most people don't understand until it's far too late. We spend the first half of our lives collecting things: money, status, opinions, grudges, regrets. We carry them on our backs year after year, thinking they make us stronger. And then one day, if we're lucky enough to grow old, we finally realize the truth. It was never the carrying that made us strong. It was learning what to put down. So today, I want to talk to you about 10 things you must let go of before it's too late. Not someday, not next year, now. Because I've watched too many people hold on to these things right up until the end, and I've seen what it costs them. I've paid some of these costs myself. Let me share them with you, one at a time. The first thing you must let go of is the need to be right. Oh, this one cost me dearly. For most of my life, I had to win every argument. With my wife, with my children, with friends. I thought being right was the same as being respected. I was wrong about that, and the irony isn't lost on me. I remember arguing with my wife over something so small, I can't even remember what it was. But I remember the look on her face when she finally just stopped talking. She didn't agree with me. She just gave up, and I felt that little flash of victory. What a fool I was. I won the argument and lost a little piece of her trust. You do that enough times, and one day you look up and the person stops sharing anything real with you at all. Being right is a very lonely place to stand. Let it go. The second thing you must let go of is resentment. This one is poison, and the cruelest part is that you're the only one drinking it. I carried a grudge against my own brother for nearly 20 years. Some argument about our father's house after he passed. I was so certain I was wronged. I held on to that anger like it was something precious. And then my brother died. And do you know what I felt? Not victory, not satisfaction, just emptiness, and a regret so deep it still wakes me up at night. 20 years we lost. 20 years I could have had my brother, and instead I had my anger. Resentment doesn't punish the person who hurt you. It punishes you, every single day, while they go on living their life. Whatever you're holding against someone, ask yourself if it's worth the years. It almost never is. The third thing you must let go of is the opinion of people who don't matter. When I was younger, I lived and died by what other people thought of me. The neighbors, the men at work, people I didn't even like. I bought things I couldn't afford to impress people who weren't even looking. I stayed quiet when I should have spoken because I was afraid of what they'd think. It took me 70 years to understand something simple. Most people are far too busy worrying about themselves to spend much time judging you. And the few who do judge you, their opinion was never worth your peace. When you finally stop performing for strangers, you can hear your own voice again. Some of you have never heard it. Let the others go and listen. The fourth thing you must let go of is the past. Now, I don't mean your memories. Memories are precious, and I'll treasure mine until my last breath. What I mean is the version of the past you keep torturing yourself with. The mistakes, the roads not taken, the things you said and the things you didn't. I spent years living in my regrets. If only I'd done this. If only I'd said that. But here's what I finally learned. The past is the one place you can never return to and never change. Every minute you spend there is a minute stolen from the only life you actually have, which is the one happening right now. You cannot drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. Forgive your younger self. He did the best he could with what he knew. Let him rest. The fifth thing you must let go of is the need to control everything. For most of my life, I thought if I just planned hard enough, worried enough, controlled enough, I could keep the bad things away. From my family, from my future, from myself. I made myself sick with it. And life taught me, again and again, that control is mostly an illusion. The things I worried about most rarely happened. And the things that did happen, I never saw coming. All that worry, all that gripping and clenching, it changed nothing except to steal my peace and push away the people who felt managed instead of loved. You can hold the people you love with an open hand, or you can squeeze until they slip away. Loosen your grip. Trust a little. It's lighter that way. The sixth thing you must let go of is comparison. There will always be someone with more. A bigger house, a nicer car, healthier children, a longer life. When I was younger, I measured myself against every man I knew, and I always came up wanting. It didn't matter what I had. I only saw what I lacked. I had a friend, a good man, who spent his entire life angry that his neighbor had more than him. Right up until he was old, he was still looking over that fence, still keeping score. and he died bitter, with a good life behind him that he never once stopped to enjoy, because he was too busy measuring it against someone else's. The moment you stop comparing your life to others, your own life suddenly becomes enough. It was always enough. You just couldn't see it through the comparing. The seventh thing you must let go of is the fear of what people will say. How many dreams have died inside people because they were afraid of being laughed at? I'll tell you, far too many. I let some of my own die that way. There were things I wanted to try late in life, a class I wanted to take, a trip I wanted to make alone. And a voice in my head always said, "What will people think? An old man doing that?" And so I didn't. And now I'm older still, and I'll never do them. And the only thing I feel about the people whose opinions stopped me is that most of them are gone now, and they never thought about me half as much as I imagined. Do the thing. Wear the bright color. Take the class. Say the bold thing. The people who judge you are not living your life, and they will not be there at the end of it. The eighth thing you must let go of is holding on to people who have already let go of you. This is a painful one. As you get older, some relationships fade, people drift, some walk away entirely, and there is a deep temptation to chase them, to keep knocking on a door that has been closed, to keep pouring yourself into people who give nothing back. I did this for years with certain people. I kept reaching out, kept making the effort, kept being hurt by the silence, and one day I understood that I was the only one holding the rope. They had let go long ago. There is great freedom in accepting that not everyone is meant to walk with you to the end. Bless them, release them, and turn your love toward the people who actually show up. Your energy is precious now. Stop spending it on people who left. The ninth thing you must let go of is the belief that it's too late. So many older people tell themselves a quiet, deadly story. It's too late for me. Too late to change. Too late to learn. Too late to heal that relationship. Too late to find joy. And believing that becomes its own kind of death, long before the body gives out. I've seen people in their 80s learn to paint. I've seen a man make peace with a son after 15 years of silence, just by picking up the phone. I made changes in myself well into my 70s that I thought were impossible. As long as you are breathing, the story is not finished. The only way it becomes too late is if you decide that it is. Don't decide that. Not yet. And the 10th thing you must let go of, the most important one of all, is regret over the time you've already lost. This is the trap that catches almost everyone at the end. We look back at the wasted years, the wrong turns, the time we'll never get back, and we drown in it. I've done it. I've sat in a dark room mourning decades I can't return. But here is the wisest thing I know, and I want you to really hear it. Grieving the time you lost only wastes the time you have left. You cannot get back yesterday, but you still have today. You may have years still, or you may have less than you think, but whatever you have, it is yours, and it is enough to do something good with. The saddest thing in the world is not the time we lost. It's losing what's left mourning what's gone. So there they are, 10 things to let go of. The need to be right, resentment, the opinion of people who don't matter, the past, the need to control, comparison, the fear of what people will say, holding on to people who let go of you, the belief that it's too late, and regret over the time already lost. None of these are easy to put down. I'm still working on some of them myself, even now, even at my age. But I'll tell you what I've learned. You don't have to drop all of it at once. You just have to loosen your grip, one finger at a time. Because the truth is, we don't grow lighter as we age by accident. We grow lighter on purpose, by choosing, again and again, to set down what we were never meant to carry so far. If you've listened this far, then something in you is ready to put something down. Trust that feeling. Pick one thing from this list, just one, and start letting it go today. You've carried it long enough. I'm just an old man, sharing what life has taught me. Still learning, still setting things down. And I hope wherever you are, you give yourself permission to do the same. Take care of yourself. Be gentle with your own heart. And I'll see you again soon.